Why is online dating oftentimes so frustrating and unrewarding? Let me tell you a few thoughts that I've had. I did a little bit of research on that. A woman that I was working with several years ago, she had been divorced for a few years and she was trying to date again. So she naturally turned to some of the online dating apps to see how that would work out for her. Of course, she's not alone in this story. There's millions of people around the globe that are experiencing these same kinds of frustrations. She told me how frustrated she was with online dating because she would meet men who seemed confident, successful, attractive, and exciting. They looked like they had their lives together. Their profiles were polished. They knew exactly what to say, and they made a great first impression. But after a few dates, the pattern kept repeating itself. Many of these men turned out to be self-centered, emotionally unavailable, or overtly focused on themselves. Some had obvious narcissistic traits. She finally asked me, "Why do I keep choosing these kinds of men?" My answer surprised her. I said you might be blaming yourself for something that evolution deserves at least some of the blame for. Let me explain. Evolution didn't design your brain to find the perfect lifelong partner. That isn't the purpose of evolution. Evolution designed your brain to notice people who appeared likely to survive, compete, and reproduce. That's the purpose of evolution, of natural selection. For thousands of years, confidence, social status, ambition, physical attractiveness, and boldness often signaled success. Those traits naturally capture our attention. The problem is that the qualities that make someone stand out, particularly online, aren't always the qualities that make someone a wonderful partner. A long term relationship, a healthy one, depends on something very different than what you might see online. It depends on empathy, kindness, humility, emotional maturity, accountability, and integrity. Now, here's the catch. Those qualities are much harder to recognize from a handful of photographs in a short online profile. Dating apps have changed how we meet people. For most of human history, relationships develop through friends, family, work, church, or the community. You got to see how somebody treated other people. You watched how they handled disappointment. You learned what kind of person they really were. Character revealed itself before commitment. Today, we're often making decisions in seconds. We're selecting based on appearance, confidence, humor, lifestyle, and first impressions. In many ways, modern dating puts our evolutionary instincts on overdrive. The people who are best at creating a powerful first impression naturally receive more attention. And that doesn't mean they're bad people. It also doesn't mean that every confident person is a narcissist. But it does mean that our modern dating environment rewards qualities that are easy to display while making it much harder to evaluate the qualities that matter most over the long run. This is one reason I encourage people to slow down. Don't confuse attraction with compatibility. Ask yourself questions that an online profile just can't answer. How do they respond when they're frustrated? Can they admit they're wrong? Do they show empathy? Do they treat other people with respect when there's nothing to gain? Those are the qualities that predict lasting relationships. Evolution gave us instincts that helped our ancestors. That's an old algorithm, very useful algorithm, but old and difficult when we've got a modern algorithm now competing with it. It didn't design, nature, evolution did not design a dating app. But the good news is one of the greatest strengths that we have as human beings is the ability to question our first impressions instead of simply acting on them. So if you've been frustrated by modern dating, don't assume there's something wrong with you. It may simply be that your brain is using an ancient attraction system, an old algorithm in a very modern world, on a modern algorithm. The goal isn't to stop being attracted to confident, successful people. The goal is to look beyond those first impressions long enough to discover their character. Because attraction may start a relationship, but character is what determines whether it becomes a healthy one. Thank you very much.